Corey Hill wasn't the type to believe in ghosts, bad energy, or any of that haunted house crap. He flipped houses for a living. Practical, no nonsense, allergic to superstition. So when a listing came through for an abandoned funeral home in Granwell, Missouri, dirt cheap, untouched for over 2 decades, he saw profit, not paranoia. The locals had their own version of the place, though. They said it shut down overnight back in '97. One day, it was full of mourners and ministers. The next, it was padlocked and silent. People whispered about flickering lights, pets vanishing, and cold air that burned in your lungs. But Corey, he'd heard worse and bought worse. He broke the lock, stepped inside, and immediately the air hit different, heavy, like walking into a thick fog, but dry and unmoving. The lobby looked frozen in time. Dusty velvet chairs, fake plants stiff with age, a guest book cracked open like it had been waiting for one last signature. The last name scrawled on the page was dated April 17, 1997. Oddly enough, the place was pristine. No graffiti, no busted windows, no signs of teenage ghost hunters looking for a thrill. Everything was untouched, as if time had politely paused and decided never to resume. Then he found the embalming room, sterile, still, tools neatly aligned like the staff might return any minute. All the cabinets were locked, except one. A small drawer, brass nameplate half-eaten by rust. He wiped it clean. Corey Hill. He froze. He laughed, but it was hollow and nervous. Told himself it was a fluke, a coincidence, maybe a weird prank by a desperate realtor. Still, something about seeing his name in that place made the back of his neck prickle like static. He left, but sleep didn't come. The drawer lingered in his mind all night, an itch he couldn't scratch. The next evening, armed with bolt cutters and a bottle of stubbornness, Corey returned. He cracked the drawer open. Inside sat a single cassette tape. Blank. No label. Just a date scratched into the plastic. 04/18/25. Today's date. He took it home. Dug out an old tape deck from a box in the garage. Pressed play. Static. Then a woman's voice. Monotone. Measured. Cold. Corey Hill, age 41, time of death, 3:17 a.m. He stopped the tape. That was his age. The voice went on. Body found at 133 Pineview Lane. Cause of death, shock-induced cardiac arrest following auditory hallucinations. That was his address. He snapped the tape in half and tossed the pieces in the trash. But the voice didn't stop. It came back. Not from the tape deck, not from his phone or his TV, just from the air. Whispers filled the house that night. The soft creak of footsteps pacing outside his door. Mirrors that shimmered with candlelight. His reflection began to twitch when he stood still. And behind every click, behind every shadow, he swore he could hear the soft whir of a tape rewinding. At exactly 3:17 a.m., his body locked up. His breath caught. He clutched his chest as if something icy had reached into it and squeezed. In the mirror, his reflection didn't match his panic. It smiled. Then everything went dark. But Corey didn't die. 3 days later, police found him sitting on the embalming table inside the funeral home, covered in dust, rocking slightly. He didn't speak, didn't blink, just kept murmuring, "I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm not dead." They tried to move him, but the moment they did, lights flickered violently throughout the building. Tape players, unplugged and unused, ejected their trays in unison. In the stillness that followed, one sound lingered. Click. Rewinding. As if something was preparing for the next recording, the next name, maybe yours. And if you made it to the end, you're not alone. The house remembers every listener. So if you're feeling brave, subscribe, hit like, and drop a comment saying, "I heard the tape." But whatever you do, don't listen to it after midnight.